Hi there, and welcome to the Celeb Tea. When Lisa Rinna first joined the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she was welcomed with open arms. Viewers were excited to see the outspoken soap opera star step into the glamorous chaos of Beverly Hills, promising honesty, boldness, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. From the very beginning, Lisa branded herself as someone who would own it, positioning herself as the fearless truth-teller who would say what others were too afraid to voice. For several seasons, that image worked in her favor. Fans applauded her directness, her willingness to stir the pot, and her refusal to back down during confrontations. For 8 seasons, Lisa carefully crafted a persona built on blunt honesty and relentless accountability. She challenged castmates on sensitive topics, questioned motives, and refused to let conflicts quietly fade. In the early years, her approach felt refreshing. The show needed someone willing to disrupt the status quo, and Lisa stepped into that role effortlessly. But over time, what once looked like courage began to resemble cruelty, and the audience's perception of her shifted dramatically. The turning point didn't happen overnight. Looking back, the warning signs were present long before the fan base turned against her. One of the earliest red flags occurred during the infamous Amsterdam dinner, when Lisa smashed a wine glass on the table after Kim Richards vaguely referenced knowing something damaging about Harry Hamlin. The reaction was explosive, intense, and unsettling. While Lisa framed the outburst as a protective response toward her husband, the level of rage shocked viewers. Still, fans offered her grace. She was grieving personal losses, defending her family, and navigating emotional terrain on camera. At the time, those explanations felt sufficient. As seasons progressed, Lisa's confrontations became sharper and more personal. She wasn't just challenging behavior, she was targeting people's vulnerabilities. The Denise Richards scandal in season 10 marked the moment when many viewers felt Lisa crossed a line she could never come back from. Denise joined the show as Lisa's longtime friend, someone she had known for decades through modeling and acting work. Their bond appeared genuine, built on shared history and mutual respect. That friendship unraveled when Brandi Glanville brought forward allegations of a secret sexual relationship with Denise. Rather than privately warning her friend or offering support, Lisa allowed the rumors to unfold publicly. She sat silently as the accusations were introduced on camera and then actively participated in interrogating Denise during group dinners. Each denial was met with more pressure, more probing questions, and increasing hostility. Lisa justified her actions by claiming she was simply seeking the truth. She insisted that honesty mattered more than comfort, and that Denise owed transparency to the group. However, audiences saw something different. What looked like concern on the surface felt more like exploitation underneath. Lisa appeared more invested in sustaining a dramatic storyline than protecting a long-standing friendship. When Denise attempted to shut down the rumors by sending cease and desist letters, Lisa reacted with outrage. She accused Denise of trying to control the narrative and silence the cast. The irony was impossible to ignore. Lisa, who consistently kept large parts of her own life off camera, demanded complete exposure from someone else. She preached accountability while refusing to offer the same vulnerability in return. Her signature phrase, "own it," began to ring hollow. Lisa rarely applied that philosophy to herself. Instead, she pushed others into emotional breakdowns while carefully guarding her own personal boundaries. That imbalance did not go unnoticed, especially by Garcelle Beauvais, who directly confronted Lisa about her behavior during the Rome trip. Garcelle made it clear that Lisa's tactics felt aggressive and unnecessarily cruel, but Lisa remained unmoved. Denise eventually left the show, worn down by the relentless questioning and public scrutiny. For many fans, this was the moment Lisa's role as a provocateur transformed into something darker. A pattern was emerging. Lisa identified a target, relentlessly pursued them, and then distanced herself from the fallout. This pattern had existed long before Denise. In season 6, Lisa helped fuel damaging speculation about Yolanda Hadid's health by repeating a rumor that Yolanda might be exaggerating or fabricating her illness. The accusation was deeply harmful, especially given Yolanda's ongoing struggle with Lyme disease. While Lisa later attempted to shift blame, claiming she had been manipulated by others, she still chose to bring the rumor to camera and repeat it publicly. Similarly, Lisa's treatment of Kim Richards over multiple seasons stood out as particularly harsh. Kim's battles with addiction were well documented and deeply personal, yet Lisa repeatedly weaponized those struggles during arguments. At one point, she even claimed Kim was close to death, a statement that felt alarmist and cruel rather than concerned. Time and again, Lisa justified her actions by framing them as honesty or concern, but the cumulative effect told a different story. Her confrontations increasingly centered on humiliation rather than resolution. Each season introduced a new adversary, and each conflict followed the same trajectory: escalation, denial of responsibility, and emotional fallout for someone else. By the time season 12 arrived, many viewers were already exhausted by Lisa's tactics. Her final and most controversial storyline, involving Kathy Hilton during the Aspen trip, would ultimately seal her fate. Season 12's Aspen trip became the defining moment of Lisa Rinna's RHOBH career, culminating in the showdown with Kathy Hilton. According to Lisa, Kathy had an explosive meltdown involving a nightclub incident, staff disputes, and threatening remarks that allegedly targeted Bravo, NBC, Kyle Richards, and even her own family. Lisa framed Kathy as unhinged, a rage-filled monster who should never return to television. However, there was a critical flaw. No footage existed to corroborate her version of events. Despite Bravo's cameras documenting every moment, Lisa's dramatic account relied entirely on her own storytelling. Fans were expected to take her word for it, even though Lisa had a history of exaggerating for effect. Lisa's behavior after the Aspen incident was equally conspicuous. She repeatedly described herself as traumatized, sought therapy to process the event, and continuously brought it up at parties and dinners, ensuring that the story remained in the spotlight without ever providing concrete evidence. She even shared private text messages from Kathy, which she framed as threats, though they more accurately appeared as pleas to avoid public escalation. By maintaining a vague but ominous narrative, Lisa ensured maximum drama without accountability, a masterclass in manipulation.